All right, here we go.
Yep. All right.
Hey,
Just the
episode.
two of us.
I know it's romantic and shit. I'm afraid you're gonna touch me.
Don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid actually.
Well,
What are we drinking tonight,
so
buddy?
Tonight we have two different sours that I got at High Wire in Knoxville. The first one here is a Blackberry Lemonade Sour Session Ale. It's Blackberry Lemonade Sour Session Ale brewed for our love of these slow-going, sunshiny days. Incredibly crushable and refreshing fruited sour beer.
Crushable.
Yeah, crushable. It is, actually. And
And
then
what's the other one?
the other one is in conjunction, I guess, with Three Ring Brewing. It is a sour smoothie, very berry, tart wheat ale, brewed with raspberry, blackberry, blueberry, vanilla, and lactose from their sour smoothie
fuck,
series.
lactose.
Yeah,
I'm lactose tolerant because I'm woke.
that's right.
But it's pretty good. I'm not a big beer guy, but we have found that I like sours.
You do
very
like
much.
sour beers, yes.
So, and High Wire, they're based out of Asheville,
Asheville,
actually.
yes.
But they have
and
a branch here.
They have a place here. Yeah.
We need to get some local fucking booze people on.
Well, good luck.
We are finding it very difficult to get guests
We're
on this
finding
podcast,
it very difficult.
which I find to be stupid.
You know,
It's
or is it great, or is it good business practice?
well, maybe for them, but not for us. But it's okay. You know what? Because I'm not
Right.
changing for anybody. God damn it.
Right.
Which maybe we should,
No, I don't. Well, I don't know.
but I'm not.
No. If you ever want us to do a commercial, though, we'll be professional.
Yeah. I did
Ish.
laugh, though. I was listening back to the Andy Harris episode, which
Yeah.
I still feel like should be doing better
Yes.
than it is. And I tweeted this, but one of my favorite parts of listening back, or especially watching the video, was looking at his face while he tried to understand what the fuck I was mumbling.
Yeah.
And then trying to figure out what I was saying. And then just being like, what? What is he talking about?
Every time I go to start editing our video, I see more and more of that garbled dick in the mouth sound that you
And I
you
don't
talk
know
with.
why, because like in person talking, I get excited and I talk like that. But usually I'm eloquent's the wrong word, but I'm a little more well spoken than when I
Right.
come across on this podcast.
Well,
But
yeah.
and I am, you know me well enough to know that. But I mean,
I don't know that
still-
eloquent is a word I would use.
No,
to
that's why I
describe
said
you.
eloquent's not the right word.
Oh,
I'm a
okay.
little
Well.
more well spoken in the sense of how I enunciate my
Right.
words. But I get on here and it just all goes to shit. I'm just all excited. And,
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
But-
I have noticed that there are certain words and phrases that I say a lot, and especially like for sure. I say for sure
and
a lot.
I say right.
and
right?
for sure is not a very big phrase in the South. Like
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. I picked up on for sure years ago. I had to go to Michigan for something, and I picked up on lots of people doing that. And I don't know where I got it from now to start
Well,
doing it over the
evidently
last
fucking
few years.
Michigan.
I guess so. Well,
Which is a
regardless.
shithole of a state.
Yeah. Now
There
if
are
you
some
go up
beautiful-
north where the lakes are, man.
No, it's pretty.
Yeah.
But fuck Michigan, man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Marie's family was from Michigan.
Don Richardson is calling
Oh,
us.
fuck Mus.
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello.
Am I caller 10?
Are you calling in? No.
You are caller.
If you count all of your calls, sure.
What's
I'll
up, dude?
take it. What I win?
What do you win? Well,
Yeah, I'm pleased. I'm the 10th caller of my call.
You win me continuing to come and frequent your business.
and you just win me continuing to come. So,
Yeah.
Totally blessed.
Yeah, right. Well,
And highly favored.
especially after tonight.
Yes. Are you guys recording?
yes, we
Yes,
are.
we are.
Oh, hey world.
We actually had just started.
Yeah. About 4 minutes
so I'm
in.
going to be on the
Yeah.
I'm going to be on the nose of this thing.
So somebody might actually hear you this time.
Right.
Yeah. They usually, I'd say probably if I'm depending on when I call in, they've probably already tuned out or shut it off or whatever by then. So
Yeah, well, now officially, we'll have a new record of when they quit listening.
that's right.
So what's going on with you, dude?
Oh, just hanging out here on my deck. Just got done. We were just doing a little skateboarding in the driveway, trying not to eat shit and bust my ass.
Fucking poser.
I know. So I put on my dirty Vans, so I look professional.
Dude,
Yeah.
we had this guy that Amanda and I knew in Huntsville, Alabama, that decided to start skating when he was like in his 30s, which is fine if that's what you want to do. But he suddenly started dressing like a late 90s, early 2000s skate punk kid. And then, of course, he was a hipster, and he still waxed the mustache and started posting nothing to Instagram but black and white videos of kickflips and shit.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird when people change their whole persona for whatever lifestyle that they've all of a sudden decided. But
you're saying it's a choice.
It's a choice. Yeah, you aren't born this way. You actively made the choice.
And it's even more strange when you choose a lifestyle or fashion statement or whatever that really takes a lot of effort. And I use like the rockabilly guys, for instance.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They've got to slick back their hair, and they've got to get just the right jeans and the boots and everything just right, just to run to the gas station to pick up a Coke or something.
Well, the pinup ladies and shit are the same. Like,
sure.
They
I'm just trying not to attack women. So
well, it's weird to me how specific it is. And I know trends are trends for a reason, but yeah, I mean, like, you know how we're past this, I think, now at this point. But the whole pilgrim look, you know, the pilgrim hats and the Mumford and Sons look,
right?
And I'm like, somebody like consciously made a decision to go out and buy these outfits and wakes up each morning and consciously makes like a decision to put these outfits on and to look this very, very specific way.
Well, somebody also made the decision to see that person, was like, you know what? I'm going to do that too.
Well, but most of those people have probably got someone at home that made the decision to not go, what the fuck are you doing? You're not going out like that.
Yeah.
They knew somebody that went to Coachella.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's the way I always look at this is over the last couple of years, like the bomber jackets have been fucking huge. So like any day now, we're going to start seeing an influx of homeless people wearing bomber jackets because everybody has sold their bomber jackets or taken their bomber jackets to Goodwill because they're not cool anymore.
Yeah. That's why I'm saving my zoot suit because it's eventually going to come back around.
97 is on its way back for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all going to be listening to Squirrel Nut Zippers and Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, Cherry Poppin' Daddy. Jesus. Man, so much has happened since the last time I called in. The Dixie Chicks are now the Chicks.
Yeah.
Splash Mountain won't be racist anymore. I mean, so much has happened.
Lady Antebellum is Lady A.
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't even.
Well, maybe they were getting sued for that too.
Yeah, there was a blues singer from somewhere in the Pacific Northwest that was suing them over that. So.
The Pacific Northwest.
Yes, the Pacific Northwest.
I thought she was some blues lady that was from like the South.
Yes.
No, I thought she was from
that's
Washington, but maybe I'm wrong.
It was three rich white kids taking some black lady's stage name. That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just par for the course right now, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. So what are you into right now? What's the music recommendations?
Oh God, man! You know, my brain has been all over the place lately, so I'll actually have to look in my old.
Because you got some rock star shit happening there at the shop.
Whew. We got all kinds of stuff going on, man. So there's all kinds of good things. We're hitting our puberty stretch right now. We're going through some changes.
Yeah, people keep trying to steal your girlfriend.
Yeah, but speaking of the barbershop, Joey, in case you haven't heard, I'm going to be hanging out with Steven's wife next weekend. So we'll leave it. We'll table that for now.
All right.
But Steve and I have been talking about the new Slick Shoes record, which is going to be just bananas.
Dude, it's on point. It really is.
Yeah. It's so good. It's crazy. The Deftones have a new song out. They have a new album coming out next month. But don't you? They're so good.
I don't doubt the talent.
But they suck live. They suck horribly live. It's like watching Third Eye Blind live. It's just they just can't do what they do on an album. They can't.
I've never seen Third Eye Blind live.
It sounds like Everclear.
Everclear's terrible. But does he have is the lisp more pronounced live than it is on the records? If you listen to it, like his old records, man, it's terrible.
Yeah, for sure.
I wish you would step back from that edge, my friend.
It's definitely that. You know, they're fun shows. I've seen them a couple times, and they're fun shows because everybody knows the song, so everybody's singing along. And Stephen Jenkins is an incredible songwriter. But I mean, if you're just standing in the back of the room and you're listening with your arms crossed, like an older guy, the band does suck live. They're not good. But
yeah.
But man, yeah, the new. I mean, as a full album, man, there's not been a lot of new stuff. It's been kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of scrolling through. I think I told you I've been actually going back and just hitting like old, like just stuff from high school, like Sugar and the Replacements and the Vaselines and the Posies and a lot of the bands.
He's been re-listening to Maladroit a lot.
Yes, all the Maladroit, all the Beverly Hills.
Which basically that's by the way, whenever I'm in the shop and you ever ask me what I'm wanting to hear, my answer from now on will either be Ratitude or Maladroit every time.
Oh Jesus! The upside is I can just go to the back. I never mind to put on what somebody wants to hear while they're in the shop. I definitely, I like to do that for the folks visiting the shop. But yeah, man, if you want to hear it, I'll put some dog shit on. That's fine.
So, what's the craziest thing anyone's ever requested to hear in the shop?
Oh God,
Tony Braxton.
Well, Spencer asked me to put. So there's definitely a veto vote that I get owning the shop, and so Spencer asked me to put on. Yes, sir, that's right. He asked seriously for me to put on Creed one time. And I had to put my foot down.
I was saying you should have accepted that with arms wide open.
Ugh.
So the thing is like, we definitely have a great client base. We're coming up on our 1 year next month. But we're still getting enough people every day that are new to the shop that I don't feel like they would get the irony in if I played Creed.
Right.
Like,
you would just be the shop that plays Creed.
Right.
Yeah. They'll go in and be like, dude, I went to this barbershop and the barbershop was fucking great, but that some asshole in there had Creed on.
Well, my youngest, when Jude comes in, like his favorite place, like his big thing is whenever he comes to visit, he wants to go to Saints and Sailors and get a haircut. But one of the reasons he was like, Dad, I get to listen to music that says the F word. It's awesome. So it's one of his favorite things is to sit there and just listen to like cuss words and looking for. And that's one thing I appreciate about you guys, by the way, is the fact that you guys just play whatever the fuck you want because it's a great fucking shop.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, and it kind of goes back to I always wanted to like, and I still haven't done it. And we can't have books and magazines out right now, but, and I definitely plan on doing this at some point, but we have like Thrasher magazine and like a couple of different magazines that we keep out on the coffee table. Right. But I was going to get on eBay and I was going to order some like old, like 60s or 70s Playboys and like put them in between in the jacket of Thrasher. Nice. And so some little kid picks it up and gets to see some titties. But I mean, like,
nice.
There's lots of shit. I mean, you go out to like Syndicate out in LA, and that shop has just got a rack of magazines that's all Playboy and Hustler.
The important thing is to get the magazines that show the clit. Those are the good ones.
Oh, so they got Hustler.
Yeah. We needed the anatomy lesson.
Right.
But it's a barbershop. We're not here to like. We want to be respectful, but like. Right. I'm not gonna. If I got a little kid in, I'm gonna watch my mouth a little more. But I'm not gonna like put on some pussy music. So part of the thing though is growing up. At least for me, like going to the manly barbershop and you could hear the dudes cussing and talking shit. I mean, that was part of the quintessential growing into a young man experience.
Chewing tobacco.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. No, I remember sitting in the barbershop my granddaddy took me to and. They were all talking about them queers, just going back and forth, but just that really rough neck. And they wouldn't they wouldn't edit around you because you were a kid because that was a man thing to do and that was their territory.
Well,
and
people grew up getting their feelings hurt a lot less because people would just say whatever. It didn't matter. You learned how to take it with a grain of salt or learn from it.
Yeah.
So I don't know,
Yep. Well, hell, my
No,
grandmother,
man.
I came home with my ears pierced. She goes, now everybody's going to know you're gay. I was like, thanks, Granny.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's going to know.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, that's, yeah, for sure. That was just, I just like, I'm the same. I'm like exactly like you guys. You know, I grew up, my mom was an Army brat, you know, so I heard a lot of swearing when I was growing up. And so, I mean, remember being in, you know, 4th grade, 5th, 6th grade, getting in trouble because I was swearing. But I don't know. I've just been around it. It seems like, you know, you got to teach kids when it's appropriate to say things and not. So, but
Right.
Be sheltered and make it act like it doesn't exist. But
Yeah, it's
man.
usually at church is when you want the
Yeah.
you really want it to come out.
School and church.
Yeah.
Yeah. School and church is when you have it's so funny because we don't not swear around our kids. And so it's funny when little kids learn how to use it in the proper context. And I remember my daughter, Emery, being like 2 or 3 years old and like us sitting at the dining room table having dinner and her dropping her fork. And she just looks down and she's like, oh, shit. And, you know, it's like, that's right. You know, it's like you used it exactly the way you should use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to learn to use it properly.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
What do you boys got planned for tonight? You guys have any special guests?
No, tonight's the first night. It's just been the two of us in a while.
Right.
That's passion. That's just
It
precious.
was anyway.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's all right.
I interrupted. We're now a throuple.
So while we've got you on here, so in a few weeks, month or so, we're gonna come into the shop and sit down and with all of your, or
whoever wants to be there.
wants to, your
Just maybe the 3 of us.
right. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. We haven't really announced that yet, but we're gonna go into the Saints shop and set up and record in there and see how it goes. So anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
We're
excited,
excited.
man. It'll be a good time. Yeah, I think doing something like on location and it'll be super cool. And I'm sure 1 or 2 of the guys will be down for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been kicking around the idea and trying to find out, kind of look at options, or if we could even do it, but somewhere to do a podcast live so that you could actually have an audience in there. But we would record it, still release it like we do, but to be able to do it live like a show would be great. So if you got any
That'd be
hookups,
hilarious.
you let us know. That'd be great.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
Ben's
that'd be-
coming on in a couple weeks too.
Is he?
Yeah, I'll buy his onesie.
Yeah, he and Steven are going to do some CrossFit together.
Fuck you, man.
Oh Lord.
Fuck you.
Yeah, couple of CrossFitting. Well, I'm not going to go there, but hey, I'm like I say, I'm at least trying to do something here at home in the gym, making my little makeshift gym in my garage. So,
Right.
but I don't know that I can get into full CrossFit.
Yeah. Well, some of us don't have the luxury of building a home gym, Don.
Some of us don't have the luxury of working at some fancy bougie job that pays for our CrossFit membership.
That's
either,
true.
so.
That's true.
That's fair. I borrowed an old Mac Pro to set up here in the studio to start using. Yeah.
Hey, that's it. If you have that kind of stuff at your disposal, man,
Yeah.
take advantage of it.
Yeah. I say borrow loosely.
What? Oh, hey, Joey, what did you think about Weezer's Bill and Ted song?
He hasn't listened
I
to
haven't
it.
listened to it. I hadn't heard that yet.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Which song? What's the name of the song?
It's something wild style. It's terrible.
Oh, I haven't heard it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
you listen
It's
to
not
the
great.
piano version of Hero though?
Also not great.
Yo, fuck you. It was pretty good. I liked it.
I don't know. I know we haven't come back to the Weezer thing, but I just think by the time they actually getting around to releasing this record, it's just going to be, no one's going to care. You know,
I'll care.
I think, oh, stop. I seriously think that it'll just be, it's like all the hype will be gone. It was like, I remember when Rage Against the Machine's first, I know this is not a great comparison, but Rage Against the Machine's first record came out. And it took like 4 years to get Evil Empire. And Evil Empire is a great record. But I'm like, this is what we waited 4 years for? So,
See, I
thought,
hate Rage Against the Machine.
shut up.
No, they are single-handedly responsible for Limp Bizkit.
Oh, come on. There's way worse things that are responsible for Limp Bizkit.
No, Rage Against the Machine fans. That's who's responsible for Limp Bizkit.
Hey, I saw Limp Bizkit live in concert. We may have already talked about that. And dude, they were fan. I hate the band. They were fantastic. Well, I take that back. I like Wes Borland's riffs. Overall, not a fan, but great live. So,
Yeah.
Well, that's my thing about Limp Bizkit is Wes Borland knew how bad that they were that he didn't even want to be himself when he was on stage. So,
right.
Well, no, you know
you
there was
seen-
a point where Rage apologized for inspiring bands like Limp Bizkit, like publicly.
All the rap rock.
Yeah,
Oh God.
yeah. Plus,
All the rap rock.
yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Hey, you guys like the comic book movies?
I enjoy the
all?
comic book movies.
yes.
Oh, today they're is all the DC fandom stuff. So they're releasing all. And they actually just released the new Batman trailer, the Zack Snyder Justice League trailer, all this shit today. So
Nice. I'll have to
once
check.
you guys wrap this up, make sure you check all that out.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. We will do that. And
Go Joe Biden.
Fuck.
You would support a two-party system.
Oh man, dude, how do you really think on November 4th everything's going to get real weird, or is it going to just everybody's going to forget about everything?
There's no telling. I don't know.
It doesn't matter anyway.
We're
It
kicking
doesn't, but
we're kicking around the idea of actually doing a live broadcast online somewhere the election
on
night.
election night,
Yeah.
Oh my God, that'd
Like
be amazing.
just doing it in studio, but broadcasting the video of us doing that somewhere. So
Yeah.
we've got
That'd
some
be
new
pretty cool.
equipment.
Do a shot every time old Donald says incredible.
Oh my gosh, every time he raises his hands, every time he purses his lips.
Yep. It's just
Orange Man bad.
those kissable
We just
lips.
you have to put on Fox News and either CNN or MSNBC, and every time somebody's losing their shit because of the way the state colors are turning,
Oh, yeah.
that's what you do.
That'll be all of it. Anyway,
Yeah,
well, buddy, I'm glad
boys.
you called.
yeah. I got to catch up a little bit. I saw you guys, thought you guys might be recording, but yeah, dude, we're about a month away, and we'll be 4 weeks, and
Yeah.
we'll all be in the studio, in the Saints and Sailors studio, if you will.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
excited, and just let us know so we gotta get a head count at some point closer to time, so we know how much shit to set up.
Sounds good, dudes. Well, you guys have a good night. Enjoy the podcast.
All right, man.
Yep. See you.
Bye.
All right. Don Richardson from Saints and Sailors. That
Yeah.
was a surprise call. We didn't have that planned.
No, not
obviously.
at all.
So,
And coincidentally, it was a very enjoyable phone call.
yes. Maybe his best call yet. No. So, I don't know where we were going.
He could have called and not spoken for 10 minutes. It would have been the best call yet.
I don't know where we were going before he called.
I think we just
don't
finished
remember
talking
what
about
we-
the booze and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think
So-
we hadn't gotten anywhere yet. We hadn't found
we
any
had about
traction.
4 minutes in, yeah. So,
Which,
so-
by the way, at some point Jude may call because he
Okay.
really wants to tell some jokes. So I don't know when that's going to happen. I just texted him, told him we were recording. So we'll
what's
see.
the number he's going to call from?
That's the one I was just showing you while we were on the phone. Was that
No.
not the
What's
right
he
one?
calling from?
Oh, I don't know. It'll be a 828 or something. It might say.
Okay,
But,
no,
yeah.
that's fine. I
We'll
was just
see.
going to announce it on.
Oh well.
Mike.
Okay. Well, actually,
number he was
It
calling
hasn't
from?
gone through, which probably means his fucking thing's turned off.
Okay, so we brought this up while we were talking to Don a moment ago, but
Yeah.
we're going to talk about it anyways. This is the first time we've sat across from each other, just the two of us, in a while.
That's where we were going with this.
We did a Zoom call together to replace
Yeah.
episode 53.
It's not the same as just
It's not the same.
being here together.
It's not the same. Plus, we were both. It was late that night, and it was a Monday night. but
you were fucking pissy.
I
As
was
shit.
ill. I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was pissed.
I like the fact, though, by the way, that whenever you're grumpy, you always say the word "you're ill." That's a very fucking old Southern thing to say. He's just ill. Ignore him.
See, I don't consider it that Southern, but
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
consider it an old thing.
Yeah, no, I see. I
feel
grandparents
like
all
it-
the time. Your granddaddy has just
I
been ill as a hornet all damn
Feel
day.
like it puts a stronger intonation on it than saying pissy or mad or angry.
See,
I,
I
feel
think
like
it-
ill.
I think it just brings out the.
It's because it's an old school feeling.
It's not an old school feeling.
It is an old
It's
school.
an old
feeling.
lady saying.
Whatever.
Oh,
Anyway,
Oh, you just quit being so ill. He's ill as a hornet.
crotchety.
Crotchety. You're salty.
I was. all these flavors, and I chose to be salty. So anyway, first time we've sat together for a little while, and this is I forgot how enjoyable it was to do this. So maybe we need to just never have a guest again.
Right?
Anyway.
I will say having Hunter here last week was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, it was not. It was not.
So my favorite part, though, of the entire time him being here is him talking shit about Olivia, and everything, your daughter.
Please, I know where you're going with this, and I've already talked to my wife about it, how funny it was.
Oh, yeah.
For it.
No, so she came out at some point to say hi to you and to hang out for just a second.
No, she came out because I went upstairs and said, Hunter would like to meet you.
Oh, I didn't know.
He knows I have a daughter that's 19, and you might be his type. Yeah. He would like to meet you. And I said, he's not your type. But
okay,
it will be funny.
I was wondering why she came down, because she came down. She barely even speaks to me anymore.
She came down for the comedy factor.
Okay, well, yeah. So she came down, sat down, and then Hunter just completely locked the fuck.
He did.
Up.
He said, nice to meet you. That's what he said. Nice to meet you.
Well, he tried to slip a couple of jokes in that she completely ignored.
I know.
Yeah,
that's great.
Well, I think he also saw her busting my shit, and then was kind of like, I'm not fucking with this.
Right.
But like at one point, you guys were talking. He looked at me and made the eye like, holy shit, and then that was as far as he got.
Yeah.
It made me so happy though.
I know what she's working with, and I know that she can hold her own, and I could tell being around him if she came out that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he just completely locked up though. That was amazing.
I was telling my wife about it. She said, "Why did he do that? Like because she's pretty, or what?" I was like, "Well, it's a mixture of she's pretty and because she comes right out and she's confident and just busts chops, and that's the thing. And like guys, especially younger guys, don't know how to handle it.
Yeah." So what she immediately said to me, she's like, "You're too old to be wearing flip flops." She's like, "Have you looked in the mirror lately?"
Just told you put off creepy uncle vibes.
Yeah, creepy uncle vibes. Yep.
So I know what we were saying right before Don called. You were talking about being on with Andy and him not being able to understand you.
Oh yeah.
Your garbled dick mouth.
Right.
So I don't know if you had anywhere else you were going with that.
No, it just amazes me the difference between how I speak on and off mic. And I always garble my words to a point. Like you've said, if I get excited or I'm talking fast. But it's just funny because every time I listen back, because I listen to the podcast once after it airs.
Right.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, I will never be a professional broadcaster.
That's what we need to. We need to play a game where we get you really excited. We have somebody call in, and they got to guess what you're saying.
Well, because when I get really amped up and I'm talking fast, it's the same way I talk when I'm intoxicated.
Your
There's
mind
no
works
difference.
faster than your mouth can. Yeah.
So I think that, I just sound like I'm drunk all the time on here, which it's funny because I don't drink that much.
Yeah, you've been drinking a lot more lately during the week.
Yeah, during the week. It's because my job encourages it.
Right.
I actually took that Knockmore we had last week into work and shared it with my coworker.
What did they think of it?
They liked it. Like it all right. They're one of those pseudo alcohol snobs. Like he knows a lot about a little bit because I think his girlfriend's into it.
A lot about a little bit.
Yeah. Or I should say a little bit about a lot so he can talk, the big, oh, this is this and this is this. And I was like, but have you tried this? Yeah, I've had a little bit of it. And, I was like, well, what's your favorite one? I don't know. There's just so many good ones. I'm like,
Those are the great answers that people give when they really don't know what to say.
Yeah. I don't know if, I've listened to a lot of it. Like when somebody's like, have you ever heard of this band? Like, oh yeah, I love that band.
They're hit or miss.
Yeah. Oh no, or you get oh no, I love that band. Like, oh yeah, what's your favorite album? It's like, well, it's just hard to decide. They're all really good.
Right.
Like you bitch, you've never listened to that fucking band in your life.
Oh god.
But what Don was saying about the new Slick Shoes fucking record.
What I've heard from it is
dude, their
is
new
really
single,
good. Yeah.
holy shit. After the break, I might play a clip, copyright or fucking not. We'll give them credit. Saying, hey, this is
just not how it works. That is not how it works.
Every one of our videos get flagged for copyright shit.
No, they don't.
Oh, a few of them have.
We have had a few, yes.
But they haven't been taken down.
No.
Yeah.
No, the one that got taken down, you worked it back up. So
You're goddamn right. I was a fucking social justice warrior for that
right.
shit.
That's right.
Have we talked about that on this?
We did, and I think we talked about it on the Lost episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was one of the only times that I think I fought the man and I fucking won. So, anyway.
So, earlier this week.
You ready to take a break?
Yeah. So earlier this week, I ran to the store I don't know, remember what day it was. It doesn't matter. But on my way into Walmart, what the hell?
Go ahead.
On the way into Walmart, I'm walking behind this older couple. And I say older, I don't know, 60s maybe, something like that.
Right.
And the guy was pushing the woman in one of those. It's not a wheelchair. It's one of those
A
chairs.
wheelbarrow?
No, yeah. It's one. It doubles as a chair or walker. If you turn it around the other way, you can use it as a walker.
Oh,
but
yeah.
so
Those little seat
you don't.
things.
You can't roll do the wheels like a wheelchair.
What it's
but
made for is if you get tired or need to sit, you can sit on it and then get up and steady yourself
well,
while you walk.
you can sit in it and basically like use your feet to.
But it's not made to be a wheelchair, is my point.
Sure, but it does have handles on the back for people to push you around.
Right. Actually, no. The handles on the back of that are for steadying yourself when you're getting around. It doubles as a walker.
Yes, and the handles to use as a walker on the front.
Continue.
There's two sets of handles, one in the back and one in the front.
But I'm saying the diameter of the wheels and how it's set up, it is not made to be used as a wheelchair.
I'm not saying it's meant to be a wheelchair, but they do have handles on the back so you can be pushed.
I don't think it's so you can be pushed. But
Well, what the hell else are there handles?
for using to stand and for being mobile, steadying yourself.
But how, if you're sitting in the chair, how are you going to steady yourself with handles behind you?
It's for if you're standing up and using it.
Those handles are in the front.
There are handles all around.
Oh, my God. Regardless.
Irregardless.
He's pushing her around one of the sections of like the flower bed or whatever.
Mistake number one.
Yeah. And he's pushing her around there, and I think they're going to their car. And there's a crack in the concrete, and he hits the crack, and the wheelchair starts to shimmy, and he's trying to hold on to it, and he just dumps her. I mean, by accident. And she slips out, but as it's shimming, she slips out, and then the wheelchair falls over, and he's trying to keep his balance. He falls as well. Mm-hmm. And so I'm standing there, and I grab the wheelchair, and I stand it up, and I go to as I go to help, I realize I hadn't put my mask on yet because you have to wear masks in the stores and stuff. And so I slip my mask on.
Do you have to do that nowadays?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, there's lots of people that don't, but anyway.
Continue.
So I slip the mask on. I stand the wheelchair up and get it back working, and I reach.
Quit saying wheelchair. It's not a goddamn
Well,
wheelchair.
it's a chair with wheels. I don't know what else to call it. Walk chair?
A mobility walker. Continue.
Whatever. Anyway, I get it stood back up and fix the seat or whatever, and I reach to help her get up, and she like waves her hand away from me. Like as soon as I reach, she goes like you're not gonna touch me with your damn COVID hands. And
Did she say that?
no, but that's the way it was. You know, when you reach for somebody, where you can tell when they don't touch
you
me.
do look like the kind of person that would molest an old woman on the ground, so she could have been feared for her sexual health.
She could have. Yeah. Right. But it's all alleged. There's no convictions.
Gonna raise them wrinkles and
There's
push it in,
no
man.
convictions. She was a large woman.
Yeah,
large
you
woman.
slap the wave and ride it in.
Yeah. Well, so I just stepped back and crossed my arms and just stood there because I knew there's no way that guy's getting her up by himself. And he grabs hold of her hand or arm and he starts pulling it, and she's not going anywhere. She didn't even like move a little. And he said, "I'm not going to be able to do this without your help." I said, "Okay." And I reached down and I got her hand in her arm, and we get her stood up, and then she goes, "I'm not sitting in that chair. That's not that. I don't need to. That it's too small. It didn't feel right. My butt's too big for that chair or whatever." He's like, "Come on, Betty or Becky or Bessie or whatever her name is. I won't drop you again." Is what he said. I won't drop you again. She's like, "I'm not doing it." And she started waddling off or whatever. But it was odd that somebody's trying to help you and you like slap your hand away. Not slap my hand away, but like jerked her hand away, like as if to say, "Don't, I don't need your help." Like clearly,
Maybe she didn't.
Clearly,
Maybe with enough time and effort, she could have gotten up on her own, like
But,
like a turtle flipping themselves over.
20 or 30 years ago, she would have given me like a quarter or something, at least some kind of reward for helping her out. It's the only reason I do shit like that. Like I'm hoping somebody sees me.
Well,
and goes, "I like your gumption, young man."
You like your moxie.
Yeah, I just
You're getting
great
your-
expectations.
You're getting your
That's what
Jesus reward in heaven.
I must be.
You just added another room to your mansion, bitch.
Maybe I added a jewel to my crown.
Jewel to your crown. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna get heavy. That crown's gonna get heavy. I just walk around with it like under my arm or
Well,
something.
of course.
So
Of course. But
Do you
yeah.
think when Jesus or God walks in the room in heaven, everybody takes their crown off like out of respect for a moment and then puts it back on? Do
yeah,
you think
that's a
they
good-
stand at the table at the feast and then they let him sit and then they sit?
I think when Jesus walks in a room, everybody says the Pledge of Allegiance.
So, do you?
And then sits down.
So let me ask you this:
The Mexicans sit in the other room.
do you think he walks in the room or does he float into the room?
Well, he probably has the kind of style that he walks like he's floating.
Do you think he's got a bit of a lean to it?
Yeah, oh, he's got a gangster walk for
So
sure.
let me ask: if you were Jesus, would you walk into the room or float into the room?
I think I'd float in the room and then I'd
Superman
bitch,
fly.
Then I'd scare everybody and bitch slap the first that walk in.
I would Superman fly into the room.
Superman
I would.
fly?
I would.
That's
I think
interesting.
so.
You think Jesus can Superman fly?
He can do anything. Yeah, why not? Why can't he?
I don't know. Can he dab?
He can turn water into wine.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't. Anyway,
But why of all the things? I guess that's what they were drinking at the. They were drinking that strong grape juice.
yeah, strong.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it was not real wine back then. It's just grape juice.
Right. Oh my God. I heard actually a debate between two people over this, like
I
two
don't doubt
two
it.
scholarly
Yeah.
individuals. And the argument that I appreciated was the guy was like, it has nothing to do with morality, whatever. He said, at the time period, historically speaking, there were no refrigeration capabilities. So unless the grapes were freshly squeezed, they're going to be alcoholic because they fucking ferment.
Right.
And that's when they drink wine was what it was. It wasn't the same type of wine we have now, but it was an alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, but if you've ever had fermented fruit, shit.
Oh, hell yeah. but anyway, and the guy was like, no, if he had the ability to make the wine, he could have just made it into grape juice.
I mean, yeah,
Fresh-
he could have.
fresh
Sure.
juice.
But don't you think he probably just made whatever they were drinking already?
Yeah, probably.
It was like, what's the, what year's that one?
Turn water,
All right.
water in a hunch punch.
Yeah, exactly. You think that he made solo cups for everybody?
Possibly.
Yeah. Oh, anyway. So,
Out of the skulls of sacrificed children.
In honor of us being back in here together, just the two of us again, I had a thought that we might.
Kiss? No. God damn it.
Well, it doesn't. We don't need anything special for that.
Okay.
No, I had a thought that
Because the length that my beard is right now and the length that your beard is, I feel like would be Velcro. It would
be.
get it would
could
when we
be
pulled it apart.
Could be. Yeah.
Continue.
I thought that we might go over what we dislike about each other.
I thought we've already done that.
We touched on it.
We touched on it.
We talked about doing a whole episode, but I don't know that we could do a whole episode without repeating ourselves when it comes to that kind of
I
stuff.
don't know. We're pretty petty.
Sure, but I mean, at some point, we're just going to start making
we could
shit
do-
up, and
we
that's
could-
not what I'm talking about.
We could do an airing of grievances where we just talk about any things we've done in our past that have.
We'll
pissed
save
the
that
other
for
one off.
Festivus.
All right. Well, you go first. It's your idea.
Oh, I was going to be gentlemanly and let you go first.
No.
All right.
Home field advantage.
So we went through we had some of this earlier that we dealt with. You're trying to figure something out.
Right.
And I understand completely not being able to stop until you get it figured out.
Uh-huh.
I get that. But how many times you say, oh, like you've figured it out, only to have not figured it out, and then 5 minutes later go, oh,
Right.
and then figure that annoys the shit out of me. That is so annoying. That's why eventually I just took the headphones off and just sat here and played something. I played a golf game on my phone.
Yeah.
That annoys the shit out of me. That really does.
So if I just fucked with it and didn't exclaim anything, it would annoy you much less.
Yeah, I think it would definitely annoy me significantly less.
But still, even outside of the just the time that I refuse to do anything else but fix this thing.
That doesn't
annoys the
bother me
shit.
that much because I have a touch of that myself.
Right.
But anyway.
I think yours veers away from like figuring like for this to give context. It was an audio routing
Yes.
thing I was trying to figure out so we can expand some shit. And like I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. And anytime I was like, oh, I think I figured, oh, fuck, no. And I got really excited that I figured it out,
Yes.
and then I don't. Because I'm a very animated and passionate person.
Sure.
You don't make the exclamations, but you're the same way with shit being uneven and trying to fix it
Yep.
and get it right. You will do the same. But I did it facetiously, but we had a goddamn tape measure out on the TV earlier, making sure the logo was centered.
But I'll tell you, the only reason we got the tape measure out is because you said something about getting the tape measure out.
I know.
I had just said, it's fine where it is. Like,
Yeah, but if you would have noticed watching
there's a
it back,
difference between being annoyed and actually carrying something out because of it.
No. I get that, but my point is had you watched that video back when you were editing and noticed that if I don't even know if you would have, but had you noticed it being a 1/4 inch off or an 1/8 of an inch off, you'd have hated that video.
And see, I don't think I would have noticed it because I don't pay as much attention to what's going on in the video as I'm watching audio files to make sure I'm cutting at the right time.
No, I
or
got you.
whatever.
I
But
got you.
maybe I would have. I don't know.
I'm just saying with different things, like when we've set up multiple cameras, you annoy the shit out of me with.
Oh
with,
yeah,
with
I'm sure
setting
I
that
do.
up. Yeah,
I know-
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, when I set stuff up, like when I mounted the TV in the living room, and then we moved this record player under it, and things like that. Like, and my daughter's the same way. Like, she likes things. Even like if you're going to put a TV on the wall, unless the wall is set up a certain way where it makes sense, then center it.
Absolutely.
And we do the same thing, like where I'll set it somewhere and then I'll get her. Like, is it off? Is it off? Is it center? Where it needs to move this way, and then we just get the tape measure and start.
But see,
measuring
I'm fine. Like I'm that way with where I live. I like
Yeah.
things to be symmetrical and whatever. But outside of that, I don't fucking care. But okay, so that's a good one actually, because I annoy the shit out of myself with that. Like it's one of those things. Like I'm like, God damn it, why can't I just?
I do the same way about some of those things.
So for me, because really what it boils down to is how. Well, I'm not going to interpret it for you, but take it what it is. But so whereas I might get overly excited about shit, your complete lack of expression with certain things annoys the absolute fuck out of me.
That bothers my wife.
Yeah.
She got me a ticket to Jerry Seinfeld for Christmas, which is a big deal to me. Like he's in my top 5 of all time comedians, and she gave me the present. I was legitimately excited about it. I was like, "Oh my God, thanks so much!" Like probably with that tone and
Probably and that inflection,
energy.
everything. Yeah.
And then about 20 minutes or so later, I looked at the ticket and I was like, "You don't know how excited I am about this." And she said, "You're right. I don't know how excited you are about this because you don't show it."
Yeah. Well, it's not even about being like, because I don't expect, because I'm not like a jump up and down and woohoo, yeah. But it's not even, it's like a cool. Or it works the same like if I have to call you on the phone, and I hate fucking calling on the phone or talking on the phone, which you do to me anyway because you're an asshole. But calling you on the phone, like it always sounds like you're in the depths of some fucking depressive episode. You answer the phone like, hello. Yeah, what's up? Like it's.
I mean, but here's the thing. Part of the reason I do that now is because that bothers you.
I know, but I'm just saying in general, whenever I've called you in an entire time in our past, I'm always like, is Joey in the midst of a suicidal run? Because it always sounds like I used to.
Maybe I've got the razor to my wrist and you call and I'll like put it down and afterwards I'm like,
I mean, you're
all right,
essentially on
not
the
today.
phone. You're fucking Eeyore. Like that's
You think
that's
so?
that's the
I
absolute.
don't
tone of
say
your voice.
sad shit. It's just my tone of voice.
That was Eeyore.
Yeah, but Eeyore always had the negative shit to say.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh well.
Oh well. That's
No,
but that's like, I got to go. All right.
Well, most of the time when you call me, it's in the evening when I'm on my way home from work. Most of the time.
Either
I
way,
don't
but
think-
I'm saying this goes
sure.
throughout our past
got you.
and our history. So
maybe I
you're-
have depression that I don't undiagnosed, unrecognized depression.
I think you're
but
just
maybe
soulless.
I'm just. That is probably the correct thing. I'm probably
Yeah, so
am
that's
that
one.
way. So that's one.
All right.
Lack of expression.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lack of emphasis on anything, I guess, just because it's not a lack. It's not an indifference, because indifference doesn't bother me at all. It's less than indifference. It's like everything is making you perpetual. Like it's a fucking emo kid, a perpetual emo kid. Yeah, like I'd prefer a lack of expression over the expression of sadness all the fucking time when you're not sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right.
go ahead.
Your almost disdain for trying new things that are based off of things that you've done before and didn't enjoy. Like if I were to bring something in here to drink and you'd had something similar before that you didn't like or whatever, you have this almost disdain. Like, well, the peanut butter whiskey screwball. Like you, before you had ever even knew anything about it, you're just like, fuck that. That's the stupidest thing. Like, you're like, that's like a brand new adult. Brand new adults do that. 19, 20-year-olds do that. Like, they do absolutely do. Not about drinking, but whatever. Like, if they don't get it, they think they're not going to like it or whatever, they immediately go to, no, that's stupid. Like that. No.
I still tried it with an open mind.
Not an open mind.
Absolutely
you
an
tried
open
it, but
mind.
you did not have
Nope,
no,
I will absolutely
because
have an
as
open
you
mind.
put it to your lips, you were already saying something negative about
I could smell it. When you pop the
So
top,
what?
it sounded like somebody mixed whiskey
Do you
and
like
peanut
to
butter.
eat pussy?
Yeah.
It doesn't always smell great.
I won't eat it if it don't.
Oh my God.
What?
Sometimes naturally it just, I'm not saying it smells rotten. I'm just, I don't know. I'm just trying to find something to throw in there. I'm just
No,
kidding.
because here's the thing. I know well enough, and you're the same way. I'm old enough that I know what I like and I know what I don't like. And I can tell you most of the time that I will not like it, but I will fucking try it. I'll bitch about it and I'll talk shit,
That's
which
the thing
annoys
right
you,
there.
but I still do it and I will still do it with an open mind.
Not an open mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
You just think me running my mouth means I don't have an open mind about it.
Okay, that's fine.
Like, because when I try some shit, even if
Fair
I don't
enough.
think, well, I want to, like sour beer. The first time you gave it to me, I was like, I fucking don't like beer. But I tried it and I liked it. I talk shit about it the whole fucking time. And I now like it. Okay. If I'm going to
That's
drink.
what I'm saying. It's not, oh, you like it, and you still won't say you like it. You say,
No, I like it okay. I would rather drink 1,000 other things, but if I have to drink beer, I will
got
drink
you.
a sour.
That's fine.
And it's far superior than all other type of beers that I've had.
Okay, I can give you that. That's fine.
But I understand that annoying you because I immediately, but I'm also incredibly cynical and bitter towards everything.
Yes, you are.
And what I hate a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things you hate that you don't have a reason to hate. It just sounds like something you would hate. And you just so you just decide ahead of time.
Give me another example besides the goddamn peanut butter whiskey.
Of stuff you hate.
I shouldn't- I
I'm
hate
more
that I shouldn't
talking more
hate.
about your, not that you shouldn't hate. I'm talking more about your cynicism towards things.
Okay. Like towards things in general or specifically like food or
No,
spirits?
when I'm talking about your cynicism, it's just in general.
Oh, yeah.
Cynicism. Like I'm a pretty cynical person, but
Yeah.
you take it to a whole new level. You've perfected it.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Well, there's certain areas because, yeah. But for instance,
All right.
I hate crowds. I hate crowds of people. I hate doing anything with the crowd. If I'm invited, it's like, fuck
But
no,
you
I don't want
love
to go.
going to the hockey games.
That's what I was about to say. I was
Okay.
about to get into that. So I
And-
didn't want to
and
go.
concerts.
I like hockey. Well, concerts have changed
Shows,
a lot for me.
whatever.
Concerts have changed a lot for
Okay.
me. And I've figured out I can handle smaller crowds. Like
Okay.
going to a show, there might be 1,000 people. Going to Ice Bears games might have 1,000 people. Like the shows I go to. I still do not like the crowd, but it's much now. If I went to Ice Bears games and they were fucking sold out and it was shoulder to shoulder, no, fuck that.
You're not going to be any closer to the person you're sitting next to than if they're not sold out.
Well, you can move down, whatever. I don't know, but it's more of the feeling of being fucking smothered in a blanket. It's
Sure,
just that many
I've
people.
got a touch of claustrophobia. I don't like some of that kind of stuff
but
as well.
But anyway, I guess so. I've gotten where I enjoy the hockey games, but again, you're looking at however many. Maybe I think the last game we were at, there were like 4,000 people there.
Yeah, something like that.
Compared to going to a UT game where there's fucking 150,000 people.
104.
Okay, excuse me. 100,000 people compared to 5,000 people is a significant difference.
You're right, but I would argue that you're closer to the person you're sitting next to at the Ice Bears
It's
game
not.
than
It's
at
not
Neyland
about
Stadium.
how close I'm sitting next to them. It's about getting in and out and making my way around in that crowd.
Okay.
And then the level of stupidity of people around you exponentially goes up the more people you have there.
Okay.
Like what kills me getting out, even driving near downtown when a ball game's letting out, the amount of fucking selfish, entitled asshole traffic drivers that just fucking kill me. Like that's the shit about crowds I can't stand is that whole mob disregard for anything else other than what the fuck's going on in front of them. That's what I fucking can't
Are
stand.
you not that way when you're in a crowd though? Like
No.
You're it's more important to you to get to where you're going. It doesn't matter about everyone. Obviously if someone was hurt or whatever, that's different, but I'm just saying
No,
like,
I still try to follow in general like logical rules of traffic. Walking on the right and not the left, and not trying to cut. If somebody's walking really slow or stopped in the middle, I don't do that shit. If I'm with people, I don't stop to fucking talk in the middle
Sure.
of a large group of people.
yeah, that's just consideration, crowd or not. Yeah.
Exactly. But you're sitting three wide leaning against the thing. It's like, yeah, you've got to get to A or B, and if you're with your family, whatever. But I'm not going to fucking no. Like
Okay.
there's certain rules that make society goddamned work. And with large events like that shit just gets thrown the fuck out the window. And the older I've gotten, the worse it is for me. Like I used to be going up, but like I hate going to stadium shows. Hate it.
Oh yeah, I don't like stadium shows, period.
Right. But
regardless
it's
of
not
crowd.
for watching the music. It's the fucking crowd that I can't stand. And there's a bunch of reasons, but like I said, I tried the hockey game. I didn't know, like I enjoy when I was younger, so I went, tried it, whatever, and I ended up liking it. And so I've gone to UT games before.
Yeah,
I've
when was
gone
that?
to college football. I was younger, as high school aged, and I hated it then. And I'm way more bitter and cynical than I was then. Plus, things like that, I don't enjoy the sport.
Okay.
Like, I don't enjoy watching football live at all.
Do you
I'm just
enjoy
giving
watching
examples.
it on TV?
No.
Okay.
If it's on, whatever.
Yeah.
And same thing with baseball games. Like baseball games are okay to go to, but I'm one of the people that'll get there like and leave in like the fucking 4th, 5th inning. Like I don't give a shit about it.
Gotcha.
Hockey games I enjoy. Predators games would be hard for me because of how many fucking people are there.
Sure.
And it's more of the getting in and out. Like after I'm there and I'm sitting down, I'm okay. But then if I have to get up and I want to go take a piss and I have to wait fucking 20
So we
minutes.
need to treat you like Mr. T and just drug you and get you in there and then.
Yeah, man,
drug
I'm
you and
good
get
with
you-
that shit. Because I enjoy the experiences of the
Sure.
event, just not the shit surrounding it. But no, in what you're saying, yes, I'm cynical as a motherfucker. And if I don't think I like it, I will probably not go to try. But if I'm in a situation where I have to try, I will try.
All right.
And I'll legitimately, no matter what's coming out of my mouth, my brain is at least giving it a fair shot. Believe that or not.
Okay.
Okay, but that was a good one. I
Next.
justified a lot of what you said, but that's,
Sure.
proving your point more than anything.
Yeah. Next.
It's a tough one, like, because there's a lot of things, but some of them I don't consider things I don't like about you. They're just things that pop up every now and then. I'm like, oh, that annoys me, and then I don't think
Well, that's-
about them anymore.
yeah, I was gonna
I
say,
know
that's
that,
the
but I don't.
things, yeah.
It's not a conscious thing that like I stack up in my brain
I got you.
of whatever. I think for me, one of the things that annoys me, one of the things that you do that annoys the shit about me, it annoys the shit
Out of you.
out of me. Thank you. Is
Finish your sentences.
yeah, no. It's the way that's, and I know some of this you do to fuck with me over time, and you know me well enough.
Probably.
Like I completely get that. But there's certain areas that like I know you really well, and I know when things are going to get under your skin sometimes, and not. But when you don't acknowledge that they are, for whatever fucking reason, whether it's to fuck with me, whether it's because you're focused on getting something else done, whatever the case may be, but you won't acknowledge. Like I know this thing is annoying the shit out of you, but you're just like, no, it's fine, and you just
Because that's the thing is most of the time, I can honestly say I've made a conscious effort to pay attention when you say something like that. Mm-hmm. Most of the time when you say something is annoying me, it's not annoying me. I'm just slightly perturbed.
that's annoyed.
No. It's not. I'm saying it's not to the amount that you're saying. Like,
Okay.
in general, when you think something's annoying the shit out of me, it's really not.
Right.
It's just an inconvenience, which in most aspects of my life.
Okay, let me rephrase my whole thing. This just
Okay.
this is a perfect example of what just split off of one of the things I was thinking of.
Okay.
Is the fact that you split hairs so goddamn much, you're so goddamn literal, but you only do it when it's feeding a point you're trying to make. I shouldn't say only.
I
do it.
disagree with that.
That's
but
when
that's
you.
fine. My wife says
when
the
you
same thing about
mostly
me,
do it.
except she doesn't say that I only do it when it benefits me or whatever. But
When you're trying to make a point or when you're arguing for or against something, that's when that super hyper literal kicks in. Because you're not a literal person in the sense of you get sarcasm.
Sure.
You get humor, so your brain doesn't function in a strictly literal way.
right.
But
But if we're having an argument, disagreement,
Exactly.
discussion about something, absolutely, I work literally.
exactly. And not just literally, but if you
Yeah. I get hung up on semantics a lot.
Exactly. Like if we were talking about arguing about a cow and you're like, and I just said a cow in general, but it was a heifer that we were speaking of. You'd be like,
No,
no,
I
you're
wouldn't
fucking
do that.
I'm giving a very, yeah, exactly.
I got you, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't do that.
right. But I'm just saying, like, if the terminology being used differs, like perturbed and annoyed, like
Okay.
those are very different words in your brain, even though they're similes.
Sure. And so I'm going to feed into what you're saying is you latched on to the word perturbed and
Mm-hmm.
annoyed, the two words perturbed and annoyed, and that's not what my point was. My point was slightly perturbed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I absolutely 100% know that about me as far as
Yeah,
being
I know.
literal about stuff.
yeah, no, I know.
Now, sometimes I do it, I get overly literal
Mm-hmm.
because I'm trying to make a point about, and it has to do with, it's generally in a conversation with someone where they're trying to literal's not the right word, but they're trying to really hammer down on something.
Right.
And so I will purposely get literal to say.
And see, I have a harder time with that because I think very conceptually. So when and you know this about me is like, so if I'm trying to usually make an argument, I'm saying, so if you take these 3 fucking points out of this, which to this specific thing matter, but to the overall thing that we're actually talking about, don't. That have people have, and that's one thing we have a hard
I disagree with you on that. I think that when you're having that kind of conversation, most of the things and the details matter.
It depends on what the argument is. If the argument is over a specific fact, absolutely.
Okay.
If the argument is over, like the best thing to do about fucking the homeless, fucking the homeless, but
exactly what I was just
right, yeah. But no, like the best thing to do to handle a certain problem, and people are hammering, well, the statistics. This says this. This says this.
Yeah.
So they're getting really caught up on specific points within the overall issue, as opposed to taking a step back and saying, okay, these 3 numbers might matter in this instance, but as a whole, they don't fucking matter. Like, look at this thing as a concept and not as a specific, and it makes a lot more sense, in my opinion. Like, that's how I approach that shit.
I got you.
But if we're trying to argue about like how many fucking chickens die per year per capita and this, then yeah, fuck, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to argue those numbers. Anyway, all right, come on, let's do this. Let's do another one. I like it.
All right, so this next one is not. It is an annoyance, but it's more because I don't understand it.
Okay. I have one of those too. That was going to be one of my next ones. So
all right,
fine.
that's fine. So we'll each give these, then we'll take a break because we're about an hour in. Thanks, Don. No, I don't understand for the life of me the feelings you have toward your kids.
Okay.
As far as like, if I could go back and not have kids, I would.
Right.
If I could never have to deal with my kids ever again, I would. I don't understand it. Now, I think that sometimes you exaggerate a little bit.
Okay.
For effect.
Okay.
Or for humor or whatever. I don't know. I don't understand that shit for the life of me. To the extent that sometimes when you're saying it does annoy me.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's
Okay.
just I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Now, the verbiage I use sometimes is for exaggeration effect, but the base feelings, yeah, that's all. Very well.
Well, see, but I assume that your base feeling. I assume your base feeling based off of your verbiage,
Right.
Because I'm a math person, but I'm a word person. Like
Right.
the words you use.
Literal.
Well, yeah, I mean, but your word, someone's words. I mean, the old saying, "Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me." Bullshit. Words hurt way more than getting your ass kicked a lot of times. Right. But anyway, go ahead. Defend.
No, it's not defend. So this is just an explanation. And you've known me a long time, but we've never really talked about the whole bipolar thing that much.
Right.
But my emotional detachment to things outside of like elation and fucking like rage, there's not a lot in between.
Yeah.
And so it all compartmentalizes very well in my brain. And so to me, enjoyment versus whatever, they're comparables, they're variables, whatever, love, emotion. Like I really don't love anything, honestly.
Yeah.
And Amanda and I had the same conversation. Like, I'm committed to her, therefore I love her, and I want to be in that situation. I recognize that it's healthy for me, and there's happy emotion and stuff that's there. And this is the same thing with the kids. Like, I enjoy spinning around. Like, I like that they're becoming more and more adults, but I recognize the fact logically that my life would be way more fun if they weren't in it. I would have way more money if they weren't in it.
Sure.
I would have a lot less fucking like responsibility for trying to raise non-shitty people if they weren't in it.
Sure.
And so it's very black, and I should say black and white, but it's very boxed out. It's very different. And that's just partially like the whole, I hate saying it like this because it sounds like an excuse, but it's really not. But how my fucking bipolar ass brain works and how my synapses fire, it's very different than having an emotional connection, because I really don't have that much of an emotional connection with the kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know you don't get that, but I'm
No,
just
I
saying
don't get it at all.
to the verbiage bit, if you look at it, it's not like a conscious choice that I'm making not to give a shit about him. It's just fucking how my brain is.
I got you. No, I don't think you don't give a shit about him. Is the thing. I just that I don't know. It's I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
It's my issue with it is mainly I don't understand it.
Yeah.
That's it. So
I get that.
regardless.
I get that.
So what have you got? There's something about me you don't understand?
Yes. It actually goes kind of into the same thing. how you are cynical and negative, and you have consciously worked on that over the last few years. We've had that conversation before.
Yes.
I have too, believe it or not. But
I'll choose the or not part.
and I know why. Like I go in the background. I actually was thinking about it the other day, and I kind of put a few things together that clicked. Believe it or not, I think about you sometimes when we're not hanging out. But it's the fact that there's certain things that, and this is a normal human being thing. Like I get that, but it's still I don't understand it, and therefore annoys me sometimes. But you have these certain things that I know you like, dislike, have a stance on, whatever the case may be. But for family, you will put all that shit aside and focus on this other whatever they're in, or your compromise is the wrong word. Like for instance, like with your dad, you guys see very much opposite on a lot of things,
Yes.
like a lot of things. And he could ask you to do something that is beyond the scope of what you would usually tolerate for somebody else. But because it's your dad, you're going to put that shit aside.
Like, can you give me an example? Like, he would ask me to do what, even if you don't have a real world example, just an example of something that may.
Okay. If he, maybe it's not with your dad. I'm trying to think of a really good example of this because I did not word that the way I wanted to word that. Like you're at the point now where you have zero tolerance for church. Like if you wouldn't go,
For the most part,
on your own volition,
Sure.
you would not step foot in a church.
Yeah.
But if your dad was like, "Hey, buddy, I want you to come and come to church with me this weekend," you're gonna be like, "Okay."
Not with him.
If he
Not
was like, "It would
church.
really mean a lot to me if you came to church with me," because
Depends on what it depends on what it is he's saying, what it is that's going on that would mean a lot.
I need you to play
to
bass
him.
for me in church
Yeah,
this
but
weekend.
yeah, I would do that because then I'm going and playing music.
Okay.
That's it. That's
I
it.
get
It's
that.
like, okay, I get to go play music.
All right. Or if Olivia wanted you to go to church with her on Sundays.
I make a sacrifice for people I love.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
I don't understand that.
Why?
Like I understand certain
You don't make
things.
sacrifices for people you love
Yes, but not
or people you enjoy.
right. People I'm
Since you
addicted.
don't
People
love
I'm addicted to. Yeah, maybe that was a bad example, but I think you know what I mean. Like, there's certain things that I know personally you don't want to do that you will gladly. Okay, here's the best way to put it.
Yeah, not gladly.
No. You will greatly inconvenience yourself for family,
Yes, but I will
and
not.
sometimes for people if, depending on what you want their perception of you to be.
Oh, see, that's where you're wrong about wanting their perception. That's all about my perception of myself.
Okay, well, yeah, okay,
Yeah, it's
that's
not,
a better
it has
way to
nothing
word
to
it.
do with their perception of me.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a better way to word it. But I mean, based on perception. Let me filter all that.
So
other
I
stuff out.
actively, and again, this is something like you said I've worked on over the last few years as far as cynicism and things like that. I actively try to be a good person. Now, it's all strictly based off of how I define a good person.
Okay.
And so if someone asks me to do something and I can do it, a lot of the times I will.
Okay.
Not all the time. More so with people that are with family,
Right.
close friends, which I really only have a couple of close friends. But
Right.
but yeah, I will inconvenience myself. Now, if the person inconveniences me, that's a different story.
Right.
I don't like being inconvenienced, especially if it can be helped. But yeah, I will.
Yeah. And I don't fully understand that. Even though I do it to a degree, your motivation is much different than mine. Because Amanda will be like, "How come you're going to drop everything and help this person move? We got shit to do." I was like, "Yeah, because I've been on the flip side of that,
Yes,
and I've had to move
absolutely.
a million fucking times, and it sucks to do it by myself. So even
Yes.
if I hate the person, I will go help them, just because to me, those courtesies, I'm not doing because I like them. I'm not doing it
Right.
because I'm against it. I'm doing it because like I've been there, and maybe at some point it'll come back. It never has, by the way. You guys come and help me move this last time is the first time anybody's helped me move in fucking years. But just in general, like help. Like, and if I see somebody broke down on the side of the road, and I shouldn't say the side of the road because I just blow by that shit nowadays. But like help seeing that lady fall over, like
Sure.
I would have helped her up, because if one day I fell over, it would be nice for somebody to help me up. That's as far as that goes for me. You know what I mean? It's more of and that's not even a perception thing. That's just, I believe, how society functions.
Sure.
It's a much more methodical thing. Like,
It's called being a contributing member of society.
yeah.
Like,
and I
to
feel
an
like that's how
extent it
society
is.
gets better. Like, I don't care about doing it.
Sure.
But I feel obligated. There's my obligation is I feel obligated to make things a more functional place for my own sake. Like, if more people do that shit, then It's less shitty.
I mean, at its core, it is still thinking about yourself
Yeah.
in that situation.
Yeah.
I mean, part of the reason I do some of those things like help the woman up is because then I can come back home and tell my wife the story, because my wife thinks that I'm an absolute asshole.
Yeah.
Because she said to me, she's like, "Why do you not ever do that stuff when I'm around?" I was like, "Well, there's not a lot of fat people falling when I'm around you."
Right.
You know.
I will say the only thing I have tried to change recently, because I fucking hate traffic. I hate driving around people, especially. It feels like it's gotten worse, and maybe it's just me getting older. But anyway, but I've tried to get better about not voicing my rage while I'm in there out loud in the car.
I'm still working on that one.
Well, Amanda has super high anxiety about shit. And so if my energy is full on, like, I shouldn't say my energy, but if what I'm putting out is just like shaky fucking rage, like, she's very empathetic. And so it gets her really fucking wound up. So I try to calm that shit down. But driving by myself, oh my God, you
I do the
fucking
same thing.
cunt ass motherfucking
I do that
bitch.
too. We had a discussion like that. I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. Someone inconvenienced me and didn't go through a light like they should have, and I missed the light, and I went, "Oh, you bitch!"
Yeah.
And I said it with that tone,
Right.
Like there. It was so I wasn't in a fit of rage. I was ill, irritated, or whatever. But like, because of the way my wife grew up and the things she's endured in her life, that puts her on tilt.
Right.
And so I mean, I'm not saying I'm good at it, but it's another one of those things that I'm working
Well,
on. And
Amanda asked
it
me
drives me
today,
at the wall because there's a lot of times when I'm just sitting quietly and
Rage.
inside I'm dying.
Well, Amanda asked me the other day, she goes, "Why does traffic make you so angry?" And I was like, if it's construction traffic, it's annoying, but I understand it. Like, I think it's stupid some of the times they choose to do construction,
Yes.
but whatever. Like, people, that's going to cause traffic. I was like, but if it's a wreck or if it's somebody, whatever, it's like, that's because somebody did something fucking stupid and it's inconveniencing everyone else. So
Right.
fuck that person. They better be dead because it's making me an hour late getting through Chattanooga.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh God, I hate Chattanooga.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I like this. It's a pretty good game.
Yeah,
It's a pretty good
Good
game. I like
game. It's not a game. This is my life. All right, let's take.
My whole thing is I'm just going to shrug my shoulders and be like, oh, I'm bipolar.
Oh God! All right,
I do, but sorry, I know
No,
I'm going to take a
go ahead,
break.
go ahead.
I do at some point, and if you know somebody that's listening, they can come on anonymously. I want an actual fucking psych to come on this, a doctor, a psychiatrist, or a psychologist, preferably with a medical degree, and or counselor would be fine too. But I'd prefer one of the docs, and I want to like get into some fucking mental illness shit.
Sure.
And
I'm
suicide.
down for that.
I want to talk some suicide too.
It'd be great if we could have someone listen and come in like once every month, once every quarter, and do an evaluation on us.
Yeah.
So I've got So I have a psychopath test and sociopath test I was going to give you at some point.
Do it.
I
know what
a
I'll
website.
score.
I found a website that seems remotely legit anyway.
Well, okay, but here's the thing: is you have those tests, but if you're actually a psychopath or a sociopath, you'll answer it how you know is not going to mark you as a sociopath or a psychopath.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm saying that's the thing about those tests. People are going to be like, "Oh yeah, see, you're totally fine." It's like, nope, you are not. Sure. That's the beauty
But
of being
a lot
a
of
sociopath.
the good tests are set up in ways that you can't trick them.
Oh, you can.
There's plenty of tests out there that you can't.
How many psychopaths have you known?
I wouldn't know.
Exactly.
Oh, God, you're not a psychopath.
It's because they passed their tests. I didn't say I was. I'm a sociopath.
You called yourself a psychopath on here one day.
Yeah, but I mean,
Regardless.
diagnosed-wise, I'm a sociopath.
All
Because psychopaths are generally born, not bred. Sociopaths are bred.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's take a break, and then maybe we'll do some news when we come back.
All right.
Yep.
This segment has been brought to you by... Hey, everybody. We'd like to take a minute to tell you about a really cool podcasting app called Stitcher Premium.
Yeah, Stitcher Premium is, like you said, a free app, and they've got everything you could look for: true crime, comedy, pop culture, The Office ladies. I think Conan O'Brien's podcast is on there. There's lots of things on there.
And archives of all those things.
Oh, yeah. And smart lists.
Yeah, the smart list. That's what I was about to say, you fuck. Smart lists basically will watch what you're listening to, or listen to what you're listening to,
Right.
use some fancy algorithms, and make recommendations on shit that you already like.
Yeah, so if you go to Stitcher.com/premium and use the code B3F, you can get a month free. So It's $4.99 a month, or $34.99 if you pay for a full year. But use the code B, the number 3F, and you'll get a free month.
Check it out. All right, we're back.
Don't forget to hit record on
I
launch.
already did.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Look
so
at
we're
you.
back. So
We are back.
So we got a special
We
guest
do.
call.
We got Jude on the line to do some
Got my awesome son.
jokes.
He's gonna call into do some Jude jokes.
Yeah.
So you got 2 jokes, right? And a yo mama.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
What's up?
Let's hear. Oh, this is say hi to Joey.
Hi.
Hi.
All right. Let's hear your jokes.
Okay. Why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know. Why did the chicken cross the road?
To bomb Korea.
That's a good one.
That's a good.
Was he an American chicken?
Yeah.
Kentucky Fried.
All right. Let's get your next joke.
All right. Why did the pinata cross the road?
I don't know. Why did the pinata cross the road?
To bomb Mexico.
That sounds like a racist pinata, Jude.
It's a self-hating pinata.
Would that be a kamikaze pinata?
No, it's a Korean pinata.
Oh, it's a Korean pinata.
All right. Let's hear your mama joke.
All right. Yo mama, so fat. When she went on a diet, she solved world hunger.
That was a good one. All right, buddy. Thank you for calling. That was Jude's jokes, everybody. Say bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. That was my son.
Oh God, yeah, that's good.
He was
that
a little more-
first one caught me off guard. That was good.
He was a little more prepared this time.
He was. That was good.
And I think he forgot
liked
his
that.
second one, and so he just went with something that was like.
you think so?
Oh yeah, that's absolutely what he did.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that first one. To bomb Korea. Oh God, that's
But
good.
did I tell you about? I was asking him about the president stuff because he gets a lot of pro-Trump at his side, and part of his family,
course.
and some of them are very anti, depending on which side it is.
So like every other family.
Right, but well, the thing is like Jessie and her side of the family are hyper fucking liberal. And then, like, her dad's side are all really conservative for the most part. Even though it's gotten this weird shift. She used to be really liberal, but now that she's a police officer, she's much more conservative.
Of course.
But but like all of like her the people that babysit them, her sisters, brothers, whatever, are all talking shit about the president all the time. Ain't my president,
Right.
But anyway, so I asked him. I was like, Jude, so what do you think about President Trump? And he goes, I don't know about none of that. And I was like, yeah. I said, but if you had to say something, because I was trying to see what he would regurgitate. He was like, I think he's a good president. And I was like, really? How come? He said, I don't know. I said, no, how? That's okay. How come? He goes, because on YouTube, he has the best commercials. And I was like, what do you mean he has the best commercials? He said, because he says he's not going to raise taxes and taxes are bad. Therefore, he's good. And I was like, okay, that's a logical enough rationale.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
All right.
But that was his. So he would vote strictly on the better YouTube commercials
And taxes. Yeah.
and taxes.
Yeah.
Well, just because taxes are bad. Anyway, so that was Jude.
All right.
What are you doing?
I'm preparing what I'm going to do next.
Is it news?
It is.
Do I get to push the button?
You do.
So most of these drops are probably the best thing you contribute to this podcast.
And now
And
the
you
news.
and you haven't made a new one in a while, so your contributions are kind of starting to lack a little
That's
bit.
okay. I did get some equipment that we're going to use.
It's about
to be able
goddamn
to
time you bought some
broadcast
equipment
live.
for this podcast.
First off, I had all of the original equipment that we used.
No.
Yes, I did. The original equipment that we used to do this podcast.
Oh yeah.
I had.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I had the same equipment. We just used yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I made it better. God damn it.
You did. You did. I'm working on it.
You are.
So I got 5 news stories here.
5?
Yeah, 5.
Christ.
Yes. 3 of them basically are along the same vein.
Okay. Can before we get into the El Newsos,
Yep.
coming off of what we talked about in the last half,
Sure.
I need just think about it. If there's not, it's perfectly okay. Is there any one thing that you fucking hate about me? Like brutal hate. Like can't fucking stand. If you were in the wrong mood, you wouldn't even want to be in the same goddamn room with me.
Off the top of my head, no.
Okay.
But I'll think about it a little bit. But off the top of my head, no.
Okay.
Because most people, if there's something like that, I just won't be around them.
Right.
Because I don't want to have to deal with the possibility of that.
Okay.
It's an inconvenience.
That's fair.
No, but yeah, I'll think about it.
Okay.
All right. Tosh.0.
Ah.
You a Tosh.0 fan?
I like Tosh. I like this show.
Yeah,
Well,
that's-
some of his stand-up is fine.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Daniel. I'm talking about the show.
Oh, yeah.
The show
Tosh.
Tosh.0.
Yeah,
not
I like Daniel
Tosh.
Tosh pretty well, too.
I do too. I like
almost
his
got-
comedy.
I told you, suspended out of a Air Force school for spitting out one of his jokes.
Oh,
in class.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tosh.0 was canceled by Comedy Central
Okay.
after they gave him a 4-season renewal earlier this year.
Okay.
So they canceled the long-running Comedy Central commentary series Tosh.0 after initially renewing it for 4 more seasons in January. The show will wrap up its 12th season, which will premiere September 15th and feature 10 episodes, with a finale set to air on November 24th. Let's see here. It debuted in 2009 with a format similar to Talk Soup. I don't necessarily consider it similar to Talk Soup, but I guess it kind of is.
format
The
was.
format is, yeah. I think Tosh.0 is what Talk Soup could have been, just like the Joe McHale
not
show
Talk
with
Soup.
Joel
The soup.
Well, it was called Talk Soup
originally,
then,
when you had
yes.
John Henson with the fucking skunk stripe.
I don't think it was John Henson.
Hanson.
Hanson. I don't think it was John Hanson.
I think so.
I know Craig Kilborn maybe did it, or not Craig Kilborn.
It was John Hanson. He had the skunk stripe.
Okay,
I'm gonna look it up. Keep talking.
that's fine. Anyway, I like Tosh.0. I love that show. I record that show on DVR to watch it. I love that show. I don't, based on this article, it says that they're canceling a lot of their shows like that, or not renewing shows like that to make room for more animated stuff,
Okay.
which is interesting. I mean, I feel like Cartoon Network has cornered the market on adult animation. So
Yep. John Henson. He
that was way before I watched it. Then.
Yeah, that was in 95
what's
through
the
99.
other guy that hosted?
It was Greg Kinnear.
Greg
from
Kinnear, that's the
91 to
guy.
95. John Henson from 95 to 99.
Yeah.
Hal Sparks from 99 to 2000. And then Aisha Tyler till 2002. But
Yes.
that was before it was rebranded as The Soup.
Soup,
And then
yes.
Joel McHale
Joel
was the
McHale.
greatest thing that ever
Joe
happened. to the
McHale was the best thing, which to me, Tosh.0 and the Joel McHale show with Joel McHale on Netflix is what The Soup could have and should have been.
show. Right. So
I hate that Netflix didn't continue doing the Joel McHale show.
Yeah.
But anyway.
okay. So canceled Tosh.0. Was it? Did he do something, or is it just because
Nope,
they're going to?
they're making room for.
So I wonder if he still gets paid for that 4-episode contract or
I
the
don't
4-season
know.
contract.
I don't know. He's mega rich though off of the show. I mean,
Irrelevant.
I think it was. I'm just saying, like, if he doesn't get the money, it's not like he's hurting from it.
Right, but I'm just saying if they've signed a contract to renew it, I don't think they can just be like, oh, just kidding. I think if it's been signed, it's been signed. They still owe him something.
It depends on whether they had an out in there.
Yeah,
or
that's
not.
true.
But
That's true.
Let's see here. In a statement obtained by Entertainment Weekly, Daniel Tosh said, "I look forward to doing an animated reboot of my show on MTV in 25 years."
Sounds about right.
And he said, "After 12 years together, Comedy Central and I are consciously uncoupling. They get the cartoons, and I'm heading to any network with stronger Wi-Fi." So maybe I think where's it at here? I saw something when I looked over this earlier. Like whatever production company owns Tosh.0 is shopping it out to other networks.
Okay.
So maybe a Netflix will pick it up and then it can be uncensored, which would be great.
Yeah.
But they do some great bits on.
Yeah, well, that's one thing I will say I appreciate about Daniel Tosh is he's one of those guys, he's pretty unapologetic with the shit that comes out of his mouth.
He was very much like Anthony Jeselnik without the swagger before Anthony Jeselnik gained major popularity.
Right.
They're very similar in their delivery.
Right.
But anyway.
Well, I feel like Jeselnik is darker.
Oh, for sure. He's definitely darker.
Like Daniel Tosh is like the pervy younger brother.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. Like the kid, that you might know. I don't know if you had any siblings with like young that there was just like super creepy and like saying really inappropriately sexual things all the time. Like that's Daniel Tosh, and Jeselnik is just like the really fucked up dark human. Anyway.
So this next article is from Entertainment Weekly.
Okay.
Ren and Stimpy reboot will reimagine the Nicktoon more than 2 decades later.
What's going to be coming? What network?
Let's see. We'll get to it, I guess, here in a minute. The emotional wreck that is Ren and the idiot that is Stimpy will return. Ren and Stimpy are making a comeback more than 2 decades after the classic cartoon went off the air. Comedy Central has given the green light to a reboot.
Okay.
Which will reimagine the characters for a new generation. Details beyond that are limited, including who is in the writer's room, when it will premiere, and how many episodes are attached.
Okay, so being that it's Comedy Central gives me a little hope that it might not suck dick.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. There's just so many, like nowadays in today's culture and society, when certain things that were glorious to me in my youth say they're getting rebooted or reimagined, that always makes me very fucking concerned that it's going to lose the thing that made it magic.
Right.
Because as much as people don't want to admit it, a lot of the amazingness of a lot of that old shit was how inappropriate it fucking was.
Yeah. Well, even SpongeBob, which was geared towards kids, has a lot of inappropriate things that adults
but
can pick up
Nickelodeon
on.
officially announced him as gay, like, which is whatever,
Sure.
whatever. And that's fine, but SpongeBob's been around forever. It's evolved.
How did you feel about that when they came out and announced SpongeBob was gay? Like, I don't care. I mean, and I think that's the thing that bothered me is like, why did it matter?
Right.
Like, it's a cartoon. Why did it matter?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, one way or the other.
Because there's speculation. You have, like, with shit like that, you have groups that demand to know certain things so
Which
they
is
can
fucking
boycott.
retarded.
It is. But my point being, like, there's a lot of shows that when we were younger, like Rocco's Modern Life, like, he worked at a phone sex play, or like there's a phone sex thing that they had a part of, and if they reinvented that wouldn't be in there. Like, there's a lot of things that were super inappropriate or culturally insensitive that are kind of what gave some of those things like, oh shit, that you couldn't get what you couldn't do it now. It just,
well, I mean, Blazing Saddles and
right.
And
I guess
Spaceballs
what I'm
and
saying
shit.
is rebooting things now, outside of like the action realm of things, it basically makes it a watered down, more like a pale version of what it was.
Well, I think we're fixing to see, and I don't, when I say fixing to, maybe 5 years from now, I don't know, but I think we're going to see, especially with the introduction of more online services, especially how independent people can be. I mean, you look at podcasts, when podcasts first started 15 years ago, or however long ago it was,
Right.
no one thought it would ever take flight really and be that popular, but it's way more popular than anything that's on the radio anymore.
Right.
It's basically taken the place of radio in the majority of people, I would say.
No.
I think, but it also depends on where you're at in the country as well.
Right.
But I mean, a lot of people, myself included, listen to podcasts.
I feel like podcasts have replaced talk radio.
That's what I'm talking
but
about,
not
like morning
music
shows
radio.
and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Not music radio, but I don't even hardly listen to music radio anymore. But
the age demographic for radio listening has shifted immensely as well.
yeah, I mean, I'd say most people that listen to radio are our age or older,
No.
mostly.
Nah.
You don't think so?
No.
I think most of the kids that are listening to it aren't listening to radio. They're listening to Spotify.
Maybe.
They're listening to music, but I don't know that they're listening to it on the radio because they can pick and choose what they hear with the streaming services, and they can't.
Well,
on
it
the radio.
depends on, too, because you have a lot of people that use that goddamned iHeartRadio app, and it's just listen to the radio. And well, depending on how you're listening to it, like Pandora, for some reason, has, well, that was basically radio. But Spotify is, too, depending on how you're listening to it. It's just a different kind of radio, unless you're curating your own fucking playlists or
Right.
you're listening to specific albums.
Well, a lot of people are playing a song, and then while that song's playing, they're going through and picking the next song. Like whoever's in the passenger seat is picking. But even iHeartRadio, I think, is more of people that aren't young people that are listening to iHeartRadio. Yeah. I think most of the young people are doing the Spotifys and Pandoras, and I don't think that many of them are doing Pandora.
I don't know.
But, I mean, in Amazon Music, and I don't think many people are doing that, although I like Amazon Music. But anyway. But Ren and Stimpy, that seemed like something you might be somewhat excited about.
No.
Really? You weren't a Ren and Stimpy guy?
No, I love fucking Ren and Stimpy. It was amazing. And
Again,
that's
you
why
love fucking something.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not particularly invested one way or the other. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Especially with a cartoon.
Yeah.
And granted, you've got some that came out like fucking Big Mouth or
yeah.
F is for Family, some of that shit.
Yeah, but none of them were reboots, though. That's the thing.
Exactly. So I don't know.
Well, so let's stick with the TV show vein for one more article here.
Okay.
List of canceled and renewed shows for 2020. And the reason I pulled this is because I know you don't watch a lot of TV shows.
Right.
I think you do go back and watch a bunch of shows. I shouldn't say a bunch. Bunch is it's maybe too much, but you go back on the Netflixes and things like that and watch stuff. So
And you know what? And I realized part of that is I watched a lot more TV and tried new shows out when I was like in Alaska and station, had nothing else to do. And so I watched a lot more. And now I have so much shit going on. Or even when I was working the last job, I had a lot of hotel time. It was like I can either waste the few hours that I have and potentially not like something, or I can watch some shit I know that I already like and I'll rewatch it. And I found a few shows over the years that I really like that they come highly recommended. But for the most part, like I'm like that. I'm with TV how you are with music.
Gotcha.
Like you like what you like, and if you happen to hear something that strikes you, you'll check it out. But you're not going out of your way to find.
Yeah, if I listen to new music, it's because you or someone else has said, "Hey, you should check these guys out. This is good." Yeah,
exactly. And and yeah, so I'm kind of like that way with TV. There's a couple shows that Amanda has tried that I like that we've watched together. But for the most part, like now I'm all about some movies. If new movies are coming out, TV shows and series require way too much of an investment to me.
Gotcha.
Because like with a movie, I can watch it for an hour and a half. If it sucks, I've only lost an hour and a half. Whereas I have this weird thing. I don't know if you have this. If I start a series and I fucking hate it, I'm like, well, shit, I have to finish the season.
Oh no, I don't. I'm not like that with TV shows.
I can't halfway finish it.
If I can't get into it, I may go 3 or 4 episodes in, but
Yeah.
eventually it just kind of peters out, and I'm on to something else. But
Yeah.
I've gotten into Homeland lately.
Of course.
I heard that it was a good show, and I started watching it. I hate everyone on that show except for the guy played by Mandy Patinkin.
Okay.
Which I like Mandy Patinkin.
Yeah.
But and I made this comment. So I started watching Homeland, and there's a lot of TV shows that have been this way, and Krista cared nothing about watching it. And then halfway through season 1, she was in the living room while I'm watching it doing some work, and then I noticed that there's less work being done and more watching being done, and now she's into it, and she's waiting on us to get done tonight so that we can watch another episode.
Well, I guess that's a better way to put with TV. It's not as far as being obligated, because I get that a lot of new shows take 1 to 4 episodes to hit a stride.
Sure.
Right?
Well,
They're
even
feeling
The
a lot of shit
Office
on.
took.
It was almost a season.
Yeah, I mean, there's don't get me wrong, Diversity Day, one of the best episodes.
Yeah.
But that's it for season 1, really.
Yeah, it took a minute. And so, and it depends, because a lot of like Netflix series that aren't based TV, they're much shorter. There might be 12.
10, 13 episodes.
Right. And so if I'm already at like episode 5, I'm like, well, fuck, I might as well see what happens the rest of this season. And maybe,
I'm not like
and like, well, maybe it'll get better. Like maybe, but then if it doesn't by the end of that, then I'm fucking done with it. I mean, there's a few shows too, like fucking like Dexter. I got like to the 4th season, and I was like, fuck this, I'm bored with it. And then I was, but it wasn't so much of I just decided not to watch it. I just started watching it and then forgot about it and never came back to it. Like that's more of how I quit watching shows. But movies, I'll invest an hour and a half. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
Check it out.
But I also will go back and watch if I'm scrolling through and I'm like, I want to watch a movie tonight, not a TV show.
Yeah.
And I can't find anything new that piques my interest, I go back and watch the older stuff that I know.
Oh,
I
yeah,
like.
for sure. I have a handful that are my go back to movies, or if I'm feeling shitty.
What's your number one go back to movie?
Demolition Man, dude.
Is it?
Yeah.
When's the last time you watched it?
About a month ago.
Okay. All right.
Another one of my new ones has become Upgrade, which is a fantastic like sci-fi.
I don't think I know that.
Yeah, it's this guy. So the scientist invents this chip, right, that can basically fix your body up. Well, not so that's where it comes from, but yeah, kind of upgrade you in the sense of like if you're paralyzed or can't see, it can rewire your shit. Anyway, and then that becomes a whole fucking thing. It gets implanted in this guy's head, and then he's on the hunt to find his wife's killers. And it's super. You don't have to. It's not a thinky movie. It's just a good action film, and it's sci-fi, and it's all the shit that I love in a
I got you.
movie. But I'll check it out. Upgrade. I think it's on Amazon for free to watch right now.
Speaking of sci-fi or whatever, maybe does this even fall
New
under
Bill and
sci-fi?
Ted happens in like this next
I
week.
thought it. Is it this next week? For some reason, I thought it was this weekend, but
Yeah,
maybe it's
I think it
next
is. I think it's the 18th. I think it's today.
No, today's not the 18th.
What's today?
Today's the 22nd.
Hold on. You do this. I'm looking.
That's fine. So, something that I had never heard of and got into years ago, when I guess me, you, and Jordan, you guys were headed to the movie theater to watch this movie, and so me and my wife went along with you guys, and she hated it, and I loved it. It's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
And so I liked it so much. There's no telling how many times I've watched that movie, and I've gone back and tried to at times watch the original British show.
Right.
It's hard to watch because of the time it was and the effects and things like that. But I liked it so much that I read the book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And I don't like reading books.
Right.
But I
no.
read the book Now I didn't read what is it, Restaurant or Diner on the Other Side of the Galaxy, or what the next one after that. I haven't read that.
Right.
But anyway. So
28th, next Friday. Bill and
Okay.
Ted Face the Music.
all right. So, list of TV shows being canceled and renewed.
Yeah, yeah.
And the reason I pulled this up is because I want to see, and I'm not going to go through all of them because I'm going to have to click next, I see now. But anyway, I wanted to see how many shows you watch or have watched or even know about.
Okay.
So, first one on the list is Last Man Standing. It's a Tim Allen show. It was renewed. I love this show.
I think
but
shit about it.
It is super family friendly, like show. But I love, for whatever reason, I love this show.
Okay.
And I like Tim Allen too, though.
Yeah.
I'm not a super big fan of his stand up, but I like Tim Allen a lot.
Okay.
Hawaii Five-0. Never watched it.
That was the reboot, right?
Yes,
Not the original.
Sure. Yeah. Never watched it. It's canceled.
Yeah. Okay.
This Is Us renewed. Don't care about that.
Okay.
I've seen an episode or two, and that's the end of it.
Amanda will be happy that picked up. I think she likes that show.
Schitt's Creek was canceled, but I think that it ran its course though.
I never watched it. I'd never had much interest in it.
What I've seen, it is funny. It's not my thing, so I just never gotten into it. My sister and my wife both absolutely love it.
Okay.
But Schitt's Creek is not coming back. Always Sunny in Philadelphia, a show that we both like. I love, you like.
No, I love.
Renewed.
Nice.
So Always Sunny in Philadelphia is renewed. Let's see here.
I've lost track of it, but I used to own. I think I own the first like 10 seasons on DVD.
It's up there almost to the longest running live action sitcom ever.
I thought it was now.
Maybe it is now, but I know a few years ago it was like tied with like Mary Tyler Moore or maybe something else. But let's see here. It says, incredibly, this wacky and wild comedy has been renewed for a 14th season. When it first came out in 2005, no one believed that Sunny would be able to gather the fandom that it has now. The reality of being both popular and creating a cult following, the show is jam-packed with brilliant acting, tremendous comedic timing, and a cast who's gone from relative obscurity into becoming household names, not counting Danny DeVito in that. But the show really took off to a new level when Danny DeVito came on. Anyway,
Nice.
I love Sunny.
I do as well.
Criminal Minds says canceled. I think that they ended the show, but regardless,
Okay.
that was a
That's
show my
part of
wife
canceled.
loved. The Good Place was canceled.
That was a good show.
I didn't care for it.
It was again one of those. It took a little bit to kind of hit its stride, but it was pretty decent. Ted Danson was good in it.
Yeah, I just didn't care for it.
So, Always Sunny in Philadelphia has tied Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet as the longest running live action comedy series. But with it being renewed, then it'll beat that record.
Okay. The Handmaid's Tale. Never got into it. My wife loves it.
Yeah.
Renewed. Ray Donovan canceled. I love Ray Donovan. I love the show Ray Donovan. Let's see here. Ray Donovan broke onto the scene in a major way during the height of the show. It was widely considered one of television's most captivating programs, aside from everyone's accent on there. After 7 seasons, the powers that be decided to end the show. This was a particularly tough pill to swallow for the show's fans, considering the season 7 finale involved a gigantic cliffhanger.
Yep.
The rumors are that the 8th season could be in the cards, but there's nothing conclusive as of yet. I like Ray Donovan. That sucks that got canceled. BoJack Horseman, never got into it. Canceled.
No.
I hear that it's good, but it's just...
I tried it a little bit, and I just never... And maybe I was in the wrong frame of mind. Because a lot of weird comedy series, you have to kind of be in a certain frame of mind to get into them. And if you start off on that bad
Yeah.
foot. You never really get it. So,
Blue Bloods.
oh, my
with
grandmother
Tom Selleck.
weirdly likes that show.
Well, that's renewed,
because Tom
so
Selleck.
she can keep living.
Right.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Mm-hmm.
which I know you like, renewed.
Nice. I haven't watched it since. Okay, I guess I just found out they're all on Hulu again. But for a while they delayed it and they just put it on NBC's streaming thing.
Oh, yeah?
And you have to have a cable service provider to watch more than 3 shows. Fuck that. So I'm way behind. But I did really like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Big Bang Theory. That I don't like the Big Bang Theory.
I don't understand its appeal.
I don't either. Don't get me wrong. I've watched episodes just to try to get it.
Yeah, it's not
There
good.
are some decent jokes occasionally,
There
but it's
aren't
not that good.
jokes.
But here's
That's the thing.
Here's the thing about Big Bang Theory I don't like is that NBC put Community up against Big Bang Theory, and people went to Big Bang Theory and not Community, and it caused Community to kind of get shuffled and seasons to get shorter and shit. So I've got that. I'm holding a grudge against Big Bang
well,
Theory.
the thing about Big Bang Theory is they really don't have jokes. It's like, I'm going to say this silly thing that's really nerdy, and it's doesn't fit into the scenario.
Sure.
Lets everybody laugh. I was like, there's no setup, there's no punchline. The whole thing is like strange observations in out of place timings. That's 90% of the show.
Fuller House was canceled.
Okay.
Yep, I never watched it. My wife watched all of it. Dear White People was canceled.
Okay.
Yeah. See? That's what we do. 13 Reasons Why is a Netflix show. It's canceled.
Okay.
Lucifer is canceled.
I heard
I
that
thought
was
he was
pretty
canceled
decent.
years and years ago.
He's making a comeback.
Billions. I love Billions. It's on Showtime. It's renewed. It's good. I like Billions a lot.
Okay.
The Ranch, which I think they decided not to do anymore. That's the Ashton Kutcher show from Netflix.
I didn't dig it either. I tried it a little bit because I love
never
me
tried.
some Sam Elliott.
Homeland, which I'm into now, is canceled, but I don't think it. I think canceled is a bit tough. I think they did a final season and
Well,
left
the
it, but
thing about
regardless.
the Ranch, just going back to that, is Allison Kutcher, right? He is a brilliant
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher, whatever. Ashton.
You said Allison.
Allison, whatever I fucking said. Anyway, he is a brilliant fucking dude. Like, he's a super smart guy, investing, like business guy.
Right.
He is a terrible fucking actor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you. So back to Homeland for a second. I didn't say this earlier. When I was talking to my wife about it last night, I said, I don't know that you could have convinced me that Mandy Patinkin would be this phenomenal actor that he is the first time I watched The Princess Bride. He's great in The Princess Bride, but I don't know that I could have ever conceded that he would be this just phenomenal actor.
Yeah, but
playing
in all
the characters
fairness,
he
too,
does.
though, The Princess Bride wasn't exactly a showcase for phenomenal craft and acting.
I understand that, but it is a great movie.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else we got? Okay, let me find a couple shows that I know because they're going over stuff. Ozark. It's a Netflix show. It's renewed.
I watched
I
some
never
of
got
that.
into it, but I hear it's really good.
I watched. It's a slow burn. Like, I don't know what happens the rest of the season, but I lost interest in season 1, not because it wasn't good. Amanda wasn't big on it,
Gotcha.
and I wasn't traveling enough to watch it. So, but it was pretty good. Dark, so dark.
Glow. So a Netflix show. It's got
Yep.
Allison Brie and Mark Maron. Mark Maron is great in this show.
Yes.
If you've not watched it, you should watch it. It's good. I'm way behind
Or if you
on
want
it
to see
right
Allison
now.
Brie's boobs,
We'll watch episode 1 if you want to see that.
Yeah.
But so Glow was renewed. So I'll stop at that. right
which
there.
actually was done in a very non-sexual, non-attractive way. Like when they threw that down on Glow.
Threw
on the
what
first
down
season.
on Glow? No, the first scene that she's topless in, she's having sex.
Oh, not that one. The one in the locker room. That's what I was
Okay,
thinking
no,
about.
no. All right, well, let's move along here.
Okay.
Lori Loughlin.
Like the All-American Rejects. We'll move along.
That's right.
Lori
Lori
Loughlin,
Loughlin.
this stupid fucking shit.
Sentenced to 2 months in prison for the college admission scandal, and her husband, I think, was sentenced to more than her anyway. So I guess she's getting her
Whatever.
70% back. So I guess her husband pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire and mail fraud and 1 count of honest services wire and mail fraud. I don't know what any of that means. Lori Loughlin sentenced to 2 months in federal prison Friday for her role in the college admission scandal that rocked the country and the world of higher education.
That's given a lot of props to that shit.
The sentencing was in accordance with a plea deal that she and her husband, who received a 5-month prison sentence on Friday. They struck this deal with prosecutors. Laughlin will also pay a $150,000 fine and face 2 years of supervised release with 100 hours of community service. Yeah. The couple was accused of paying $500,000 in bribes to pose their daughter as recruits for the University of Southern California crew team, even though neither of them participated in the sport.
Okay.
So anyway.
Whatever. I don't even understand why that's a fucking news headline trial thing. It makes no sense to me.
Celebrity news, man.
No, that went beyond celebrity news, though. Like, that became a legitimate news story for a while. I don't even understand. Like, yeah, rich people buy their way into doing shit. That's happened since there are fucking rich people on this planet.
Do you have a problem with that?
No.
With rich people paying money to be able to
No.
do whatever, get their
It's one of the advantages of being super fucking rich. I would have more of an issue with it if they paid somebody to fuck someone else over on purpose.
Right.
Like, hey, I don't like one of them pours. Like, I'm going to pay you $100 or, $1 million, and you don't let that pour in. Like, say, no, I have an issue with that. That's a dick move. But you're like, you know what?
For sure.
I want my kids in here. If you get my kids in here, I'm going to fucking give you some money. It's like, fuck, okay.
Yeah. I don't know a single person that if they had the financial means that wouldn't do that.
Right.
I don't know anybody that wouldn't do that. So I don't.
Ron Swanson.
Okay. So last one I've got here.
Thank God.
You know what? This one's about Ryan Reynolds. I'm not going to do it now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably something he did with that fucking bear or some shit like that.
Nope.
New movie? Read the
I'm not
goddamn
doing it
story,
now.
you fucking cock.
Say please.
I sat through
Say
three
please.
other shit ass stories. Please,
Ask
God
nicely.
damn it. And if it sucks, whatever.
Ryan Reynolds sells his gin company for $610 million.
He sold it?
Let's see here. Someone give Ryan Reynolds a glass of gin to celebrate. That's what the article starts out.
I don't like whoever
On
this
August 17th, the beverage company Diageo, however you say that, Diageo, announced that it had acquired Aviation American Gin as part of a deal worth more than $500 million. Ryan Reynolds became co-owner of the gin just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Deadline reported the deal is for an estimated $610 million, depending on sales, with a $335 million upfront payment.
Wow.
Ryan will still have an ongoing ownership interest in the brand.
Okay.
After the sale, Ryan said in a statement, "A little over 2 years ago, I became an owner of Aviation Gin because I love the taste of aviation more than any other spirit. What I didn't expect was the sheer creative joy learning a new industry would bring, growing the brand, and with my company, Maximum Effort Marketing has been among the most fulfilling projects I have ever been involved with. I want to thank Diageo for their incredible team and passion. We are so excited for the next chapter of Aviation Gin, which I promise will require just as little reading." So,
Wow.
Yeah. 2 years ago, gets into it, and now selling it for $610 million.
Whatever.
So,
Yeah, that's fucking whatever. I was really upset for a moment when I thought he was completely loose, but it's nothing's changing. They just basically had a larger parent company fucking buy him out, and he's still retaining at least the face of it. So that's all I fucking care about.
okay.
If I thought he would notice me, I would get a Ryan Reynolds tattoo.
You never know.
No,
He might notice you. You never
No,
know.
he might like it on Twitter and maybe retweet it.
But that's noticing you.
No, I mean in person knows him. Like, hey, you should come have dinner with me and Blake Lively.
Sure. That'll happen.
Which actually, weirdly enough, Blake Lively is not one of the celebrity ladies. I'm like, oh yeah, like I feel like that Ryan Reynolds married down in that
think so?
instance. Oh yeah,
That's good.
she got the better end of that fucking deal.
I mean, obviously, selling a gin company for
Right.
$610 million.
I meant from a purely physical standpoint. She
Oh, I
got she
gotcha.
way fucking married up.
You think so?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like the two people that deserve to be together are fucking Ryan Reynolds and Beyonce. that's the match made in heaven right there.
You think on looks? Are you talking about you basing it on looks still, or what?
Partially, I think
'Cause
Beyonce's
you're-
fucking gorgeous.
Well, I think she's good looking. I don't know that I'd call her gorgeous. Coincidentally, you said Toni Braxton earlier. I think Toni Braxton. I hadn't seen her lately, but back in the day, that was my jam right there. Toni Braxton
Beyonce
was
is
so good
fucking
looking.
gorgeous. She's one of the most beautiful celebrities on the
think so?
planet. Absolutely.
I like Gabrielle Union more than Beyonce.
I don't know why we're friends.
I don't either. We hate so much about each other. Which
You started that. I wasn't going to bring any of that shit up, but
well, we mentioned it. I think it was your idea several
Yeah, it was.
tens of episodes ago.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, so to go back to your question about that, is there anything I just absolutely abhor about you?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
So go ahead. What do you got?
No,
'Cause there's gotta be
nothing
something on
actually.
your
I
mind.
really don't. I feel like that the reason that we are how we are together is like there's things about that we annoy the shit out of each other with, but there's nothing that we hate about each other, and that's more than
Right.
we can say about most other people. Right.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
I will say one thing that I do love about you. I'll give you one thing that I love about you. And that's the fact that I can text you the same day as a school shooting and make a joke about that and
Yes.
you'll laugh.
yes.
That's one of my favorite things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm already thinking something along those lines.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any national tragedy, I can message you the day of. Like, hell, if you found out that like my grandmother died or one of my kids died, you could text me a joke like
Right.
5 minutes after I told you, and I'm gonna laugh about that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why did Jude cross the road? To get hit by that car.
Right. To not go to heaven.
Oh God. Well,
Yeah. To escape this earth.
well, I've carried my weight tonight, so
You have carried your weight.
I'm out
And
of
that's-
things
and
now.
that is a lot
That
of
is
weight
a
to
lot
carry.
of weight to carry. I still have not gained it all back yet, though.
Really, I dropped a little bit though.
Yeah, you
But like
CrossFitting.
when the kids, no, not from that, but no, when the kids were here this last time for 2 weeks and we couldn't leave the house, I ate just fucking garbage. I was like a bloated sack of shit by the end of that 2 weeks.
Oh God.
And I've dropped back down now. I'm under where we started with the weight loss.
Sure,
thing,
that's where I'm at. Yeah,
but still not a flattering body shape
No.
for me at all.
not for me either.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
you got anything?
I did, but then you got just. I didn't realize you had that many news stories, and
I told
got,
you 4 or 5 at the beginning of the night.
I don't remember you telling me that shit. I don't remember any.
There's one more thing to add to the list.
Now I know that drives you crazy about me.
That what, you don't remember things?
When you feel like it should not. Okay, important's the wrong word, but like for something like this, when I like fuck, I get mad. Like, well, you should have written it down, you asshole. You know you can't remember.
That's
shit.
what bothers me, because I can tell you. You're just like, oh yeah, I got to remember to tell you about blah 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 when we start recording. I'm like, well, you need to write it down, and you're like, no, I'm good. But it's the complete lack of recognition that no, you're not good. You're
no,
not.
it's not like recognition. At this point, it's because I know how much it drives you crazy.
I don't think that's it.
No, I swear it is because it's a coin toss for me. If I remember it, awesome, we get to talk about something cool. If I don't, you're going to get annoyed about the fact that I didn't remember it.
Why
For this
not-
podcast, it's a win-win.
Why not write it down, remember it, tell me you don't remember it, let me get annoyed, and then remember it and get best of both worlds.
Because I get frustrated too if I don't remember it. So it's a really fun game to play.
I mean, after all, you're crazy.
It's why we have so many listens.
Yeah. That's probably why.
I'm offended by the word crazy.
I had a substitute teacher get serious with me one time and tell me, don't you ever call me crazy. He said something crazy, and I said, oh, man, you're crazy.
Man,
you're crazy.
You cray.
Like, no, it wasn't like that. It was like he said something, and it was legitimately crazy, and I said, man, you're crazy. Like, I'm not doing that. You're crazy. And he goes, let me tell you something. Don't you ever call me crazy. And he was an old guy, and I think that there's a little self-consciousness that maybe he had had some Alzheimer's or some dementia kicking in. But yeah, don't you ever call me crazy.
I know a lot of people now, it's a big thing. They get super offended if you use the word crazy or
So stupid.
whatever. I'm like, no, that's, you're not normal.
Right.
You're a little broken, sir.
Would you rather me call you abnormal?
Right. No, because you have to treat them. They're just the same.
You're normal. No, yes, they're just the same.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm just the same as everybody else.
It's like the word retarded.
Right.
Hunter is retarded. He's slower than everything else. So that's the case.
Right. And I see, to
Very.
me, like, I can understand if you don't have Down syndrome, and I'm like, well, you're just a stupid Down syndrome person. Like, then that's a little more of an offensive thing. I'm being
No,
facetious.
I get you, but I mean, retarded has a definition, which is slowed.
Right. But that's what I'm saying then. So, but I'm saying if every time, like Hunter, that's retarded, you're like, you're a Downs. Like
Yeah.
that's a little more offensive because you're taking a serious illness that does cause
Ooh,
retardation.
that's not an illness, man.
It's an illness.
Is it?
Yeah. It's a genetic. What's a better way to put it? Because you're thinking
It's a bonus.
a bonus chromosome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the point being, like, you're taking a serious
up.
problem that's. I just heard the Mario sound for an extra life in my mind. Or when they get the mushroom. No, but point being is, like, you're taking something that's actually wrong and you're essentially making that person bad. I understand that's a little more of an issue, whereas
Sure.
retarded is just a general term of.
It is, but it has a definition which is slowed down. I mean, that's
Right.
like back in the day when you would have to actually work on your cars. You would retard the timing if you needed to have it idle lower.
Right.
I mean, that's I'm not making a joke.
No,
That's
I
the
know.
case.
I know.
How long until you won't be able to say something like that? Or, all right, brake cylinders in a car. You have a master cylinder and a slave cylinder.
Well, that's the same with electronics. You have a master.
I mean, not brake cylinders, but regardless, you have a master cylinder and a slave cylinder. How long before you're not going to be able to do that anymore?
Yeah, we have the same thing with electronics. You'll have a master and a slave as far as how things work.
Yeah, well, because it makes sense to use those terms that
Right.
way. I mean, but the NBA, you don't call the team owners anymore. They're called governors.
right,
Which
which
is
is just as bad, really.
I don't think governor's not as bad. I don't think either of them are bad.
I immediately
they,
think of a
they
plan- I
literally
immediately-
own the team.
I know, no, but I'm saying, but when you say governor, I immediately think of a plantation manager. That's what the
Really?
first thing. Yeah,
I don't, governor to me, I think more British than anything.
Yeah.
Hello, governor. That's-
God damn it! Don't ever do a British accent.
I know. I know. I knew that would be great.
Oh
for you.
my God!
No, I don't know. I don't. This war on words, I don't understand, which is a whole other episode altogether.
I remember-
But it's like, I bought this beer. Am I the governor of the beer or am I the owner of the beer?
You're the-
which one?
you're the-
Which one is it?
You're the owner of the beer, Joey. Does that make you feel better? You're the owner. You're
does.
you're the beer's master.
If I open that beer and it doesn't taste right,
Yeah.
crack the whip, man.
I just cracked the top. If one time when I was working on my old car, I retarded the horn and it just sounded like no whenever I.
Oh, and with that,
That's my final thought.
that is your. Yeah. Okay.
You got anything else, buddy?
I don't. I'm at a loss.
We've just
I've
unraveled here.
retarded my words.
We've just
Yeah.
unraveled
I
here
know.
the last little bit.
All right. No, I'm good.
We peaked with Jude.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
Until next week though we got
Yeah, Gabe
guest.
and his girlfriend Kelsey.
We're going to talk relationships.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to give them some advice that's going to help them thrive in this arena we
I'm
call
going to
love.
see how many times I can say son while I'm giving advice.
Son.
Son, let me tell you.
I'm going to see if I can break them up on the podcast.
You know what's interesting is this will be the third time Gabe's been on here.
It is.
So he'll be the leader in.
Yeah.
I mean, if you count Don's phone calls, then he won't be. But it's not a guess. Well, I'm just saying Don has been on here more than anyone
No,
else.
he has.
He's not actually been in here on here than anyone else.
Right.
So,
You're right.
so yeah, we'll see.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Until next time.
Yep.
Give us a thumbs up on Facebook at B3F Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at B3F Podcast and on Instagram at B3F_podcast. Send us your questions or comments to bfff.podcast@gmail.com. Rate us and review us wherever you listen to the show. And as always, thanks for listening.